So this is, are we on? Good. One of the best things about this guy is that he's very characteristic. You can see all of the flow of the fascicles and the muscles. So we often call him Mr. Muscles. But actually one of the best things that is going on for this particular model is the lymphatic system. So if you're into lymphatics, here is the cisterna chyli down here, and then the little thoracic duct that comes up. It's literally lying right in this location. It's very characteristic. And so it just occurred to me that this is a Biology 20A lab review, not a B, so excuse me for my excitement. I so love Mr. Muscles here because he's got such fabulous lymphatics. Anyways, let's get back to 20A. 20A is all about the muscles, right? Muscles and skeletal. Thank you. I caught myself there. Okay, well, Mr. Muscles is particularly good here in the back region. And so the most superficial muscle of the back that we see, we're here at the trapezius level. Trapezius, remember, is coming all the way down from the occipital origin and then down the nuchal ligament and the all of the spinous processes all the way down to T12. And we're going to be going out to the lateral 1/3 of the clavicle and then around the axilla and down through the little bit of the spine of the scapula. Here we have the latissimus dorsi. The latissimus dorsi is actually starting from the famous thoracodorsal aponeurosis. And the aponeurosis is going to have two levels to it. There's going to be a posterior lamina and an anterior lamina. And so the posterior lamina, when you get through it, we actually get to see the erector spinae muscles. And you can actually, in the real cadaver that isn't dried out, you can get your fingers all the way around the erector spinae, which is kind of nice. So there's a certain amount of fluidity there. That's, of course, if the person doesn't have all adhesions and they're back from doing some sort of physical labor type job. Then what else do we have at a much deeper level? We do then get to see the erector spinae. We never learned this muscle. It's a serratus posterior inferior, but it's there. So, what's that?
I didn't have a book like that one.
Yeah, our book doesn't want a lot, actually. There's some really nice movements of the head laterally when we track that I really would love to teach those muscles too. Anyways, we do have rhomboids here, which is just the way you like it. If I had a cadaver and was testing you on a cadaver, I could cut through the rhomboids and pull back a little bit, and I would actually find the next muscle in would be the serratus anterior. Okay, and that would be a surprise to a lot of people. It was to me, I remember, because I would have been thinking of the subscapularis, and actually there's this intervening muscle that comes, and it's actually attached right here and goes back to the medial border of the scapula. So it's our pushing muscle. We do see our sits muscles, our supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres minor. Hello, teres. No, this is still infraspinatus. This is teres minor, at least on this model, because they give us that little yellow dividing line right there. And there is going to be a long head of triceps which divides the teres minor from the teres major. You don't really see the last of the sits muscles, which is subscapularis, unless kind of we can sort of see it under here. But those are the sits muscles. This is another view of the long head of triceps going between teres minor and teres major. That's kind of a nice view. And it's also important to note that teres minor and latissimus dorsi are going to be sharing a tendon, and that tendon is also right here. This tendon right here is the tendon of latissimus dorsi, and this is the actual teres minor, so you can see that they're coming in together. Okay, and this is a nice review of subscapularis. So try to remember when you're learning these things to put together the information, synthesize the neural and the muscular information. As we come back here, down into the gluteal region, poor Mr. Muscles has had to sit down hard a couple times, it looks like. So we do have these issues. Notice that there is sort of like this gluteus maximus kind of diagonal movement here, and we meet up again over here, and it even goes right in here. So there's sort of like two parts to it. There's a part that comes all the way down and actually goes to the femur, and there's a part that goes to the IT tract here, the iliotibial band. Okay, and then there's going to be the gluteus medius and the minimus, and usually between the minimus and the medius there's a lot of fascia and blood vessels, and so once that gets cleared away, then you get to see the piriformis muscle. Underneath the piriformis and just before you get to the superior gemulus, you have the sciatic nerve emerging. Bless you. So the sciatic nerve is coming out. Here's the superior and inferior gemulus. In between the two is going to, in this sort of like wedge of three muscles, is going to be the obturator internus.
10 seconds.
Okay, why don't we just then call it quits right there, and we'll pick up the action.